What's up guys, BridePower here, and today we're doing something a little bit different, because today we'll be asking the age-old question: is TF2 turning into another Counter-Strike game? Now it's no secret that I'm a huge fan of TF2, but what you may not know is I'm also a big fan of the game CSGO. I mean, who isn't really? With the recent Gunmetal update for Team Fortress 2, the game's been turned on its head, which is kind of difficult to do for a game with so many hats. And with all these changes added to TF2, it's kind of began to morph the two games together. The first bit of evidence that I'm going to be presenting to you is the fairly obvious. The biggest and most obvious evidence being the new skins that were just added to the game in the new update. Ever since the beginning of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, skins have been a huge part of the game and very popular among the community. Skins such as the Redline, Predator, Basilisk, and Rust have all been used since the birth of CSGO. With the new Gunmetal update for TFGO, I mean TF2. Yeah, that's what I meant. With the new Gunmetal update, the popularity of skins has been practically duplicated in TF2. Oh looky, they made the same gun. Besides the weapon skins being extremely similar, the weapon's wear is almost exactly the same. In CSGO there are 5 levels of weapon wear. The first being Factory New or FN, the second being Minimal Wear or MW, the third being Field Tested or FT, the fourth being Well Worn or WW, and the fifth being Battle Scarred or BS. BS, like bullshit! The weapon wear for TF2 are pretty much exactly the same. The article regarding the changes to the new Gunmetal update says, weapons come in 6 grades of rarity and are further modified by 5 levels of wear, from Factory New to Battle Scarred, which essentially means that they are exactly the same with the different wears. Besides the weapons wear levels in each game being extremely similar, the weapons classification of rarity is also extremely similar due to the fact that in both games it's classified by color systems. So throw all that in the evidence locker because we're moving on. No, wait, before we move on, stat clock? Really, Valve? Like, I know you weren't trying to hide it with this one, but like, you could have tried a little bit harder. I mean, it's practically the same exact name as StatTrack, and it has the same exact function too. Like, come on, Valve. Come on. Alright, let's move on. The next most obvious similarity between the two games is campaigns. In CSGO, every so often a new operation is introduced. What an operation is that you have to buy a campaign pass which allows you to participate in missions. Upon purchasing a campaign pass, you receive a bronze coin. Every once in a while after you complete a few missions, your bronze coin that you receive will level up. Missions give you certain objectives, such as to kill as many chickens as possible in a certain amount of time. Damn you, chickens! As you complete missions, you earn campaign stars, and if you earn enough campaign stars, you finish the mission. Upon completing missions in CSGO, you receive an item drop, which can range anywhere from skins to cases. Now on the other hand, in TF2, you can also buy a campaign pass, but instead of giving you missions to complete, they give you contracts to complete. Contracts are essentially the same thing as missions, just with a completely different name. In contracts, instead of earning campaign stars, you earn contract points for each objective completed. Oh, did I also mention that you can get a coin that can level up from bronze to silver in TF2? The rewarding system in TF2 is exactly the same as CSGO, because upon finishing a contract, you can either receive a skin or a case. Speaking of cases, CSGO has always been unboxing simulator. While TF2 has always had crates to open, they are now literally adding cases for unboxing. Some of the smaller arguments that you can point out are the similarities the games shared before the update. Some of the similarities to point out are the fact that they're both first-person shooters where you can't aim down the sights of guns except for the snipers in both games, or even the fact that they're probably the last installments in their respective game series. In the new update, Valve released 2 minute details that reflect CSGO perfectly. The first being the new Inspect mode for TF2, and the second being the new trade-up contract that was just added, which allows you to trade in weapons of lower rarity for weapons of a higher rarity. This has always been in CSGO, but was just recently added to TF2. And if that isn't enough evidence for you, as the final nail in the coffin, code was found inside the new update suggesting that there is a competitive future for TF2. This code suggests that somewhere in the near future there will be competitive matchmaking for us to play, but we'll have to see how this plays out. I think for right now it's safe to say that the similarities between these two games are overwhelmingly high. But that doesn't mean that TF2 isn't worth playing, it's still a very unique game. The different game modes in TF2 give the game its own feel, which no other game will ever be able to match. At the end of the day, it's all about gameplay, and although the two games will continue to drift towards one another, they will never be the exact same game.
But hey, that's just a power! A Bri power! Thanks for watching!
Thank you guys so much for watching that last video. I had a blast making it. Special thanks to MatPat for recording that last part, as well as inspiring this whole video. If you want to check out his stuff, click here. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you go check out my other TF2 series by clicking the link right here. Again, thank you to MatPat. He's kind of the one who made this whole video possible. It was so much fun to make, but also really difficult. I have a whole new respect for MatPat. I don't know how he does it all the time, but yeah, make sure you go check out his stuff, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.